winter of our discontent, made glorious summer by this sun of York, and all the clouds that lowered upon our house in the deep bosom of the ocean barren. Now our brows bound with victorious wreaths, our bruised arms hung up for monuments, our stern alarums changed to merry meetings, our dreadful marches to delightful measures. Grim-visaged war hath smoothed his wrinkled front, and now, instead of mounting barbed steeds to fright the souls of fearful adversaries, he capers in a lady's chamber to the lascivious pleasing of a lute. But I, that am not shaped for sportive tricks, nor made to court an amorous looking-glass, I that am rudely stamped and want love's majesty to strut before a wanton ambling nymph, I that am curtailed with this fair proportion, cheated of feature by dissembling nature, deformed, unfinished, sink before my time into this breathing world scarce half made up, and that so lamely and unfashionable that dogs bark at me as I halt by them. Why, I, in this weak, piping time of peace, have no delight to pass away the time, unless to see my shadow in the sun, and descant on mine own deformity. And therefore, since I cannot prove a lover to entertain these farewell-spoken days, I am determined to prove a villain, and hate the idle pleasures of these days. Plots have I laid, inductions dangerous by drunken prophecies, libels and dreams, to set my brother Clarence and the king in deadly hate, the one against the other. And if King Edward be as true and just as I am subtle, false and treacherous, then this day should Clarence closely be mewed up about a prophecy which says that G of Edward's heirs the murderer shall be. Die, thoughts, down to my soul. Here Clarence comes. Brother, good day with me's this armed guard that waits upon your grace.
His Majesty, tendering my person's safety, hath appointed this conduct to convey me to the tower.
Upon what cause?
Because my name is George.
Alack, my lord, that fault is none of yours. He should for that commit your godfathers. Oh, be like his Majesty hath some intent that you should be christened in the tower. But tell me, Clarence, what's the matter? May I know?
Yea, Richard, when I know, for I protest as yet I do not. But as I can learn, he hearkens after prophecies and dreams, and from the crossroad plucks the letter G, and says a wizard told him that by G his issue disinherited should be. And for my name of George begins with G, it follows in his thought that I am he. These, as I learn in such like toys as these, hath moved his highness to commit me now.
This it is when men are ruled by women. 'Tis not the king that sends you to the tower, my Lady Grey, his wife, Clarence. 'Tis she that tippers him to this extremity. I'll tell you what, I think it is our way, if we will keep in favor with the king, to be her men and to wear her livery.
I do beseech your graces both to pardon me. His Majesty hath straitly given in charge that no man shall have private conference of what degree soever with your brother.
Even so, and please your worship, Brackenbury, we speak no treason, man. We say that the king is wise and virtuous, and that his noble queen is fair and not jealous, and that the queen's kindred are made gentlefolks. What say you, sir? Can you deny all this?
I do beseech your grace to pardon me, and withal forbear your conference with the noble duke.
We know thy charge, Brackenbury, and will obey.
We are the queen's abjects and must obey. Brother, farewell. I will unto the king, and whatsoe'er you employ me in word to call King Edward's widow sister, I'll perform it to enfranchise you. Meantime, this deep disgrace in brotherhood touches me deeper than you can imagine.
I know it pleaseth neither of us well.
Meantime, have patience. I will deliver you, or else lie for you.
I must perforce. Farewell.
Go, tread the path that thou shalt ne'er return. Simple, plain, Clarence, I do love thee so that I will shortly send thy soul to heaven, if heaven will take the present at our hands. But who comes here? The new delivered Hastings.
Good time of day and to my gracious lord.
As well unto my good Lord Chamberlain. Well are you welcome to the open air. How hath your lordship brooked in prison?
With patience, noble lord, as prisoners must. But I shall live, my lord, to give them thanks that were the cause of my imprisonment.
No doubt, and so shall Clarence too. For they that were your enemies are his, and have prevailed on him as much as you.
More pity that eagles should be mute, while kites and buzzards prey at liberty.
What's news abroad?
No news so bad abroad as this at home. The king is sickly, weak, and melancholy, and his physicians fear him mightily.
Oh, by St. John, that news is bad indeed. Oh, he hath kept an evil diet long, and overmuch consumed his royal person. 'Tis grievous to be thought upon. Where is he? In his bed?
He is.
Go you before, and I will follow you. He cannot live, I hope, and must not die, till Clarence be packed with post-horse up to heaven. I'll in to urge his hatred more to Clarence with lies though steeled with weighty arguments. And if I fail not in my deep intent, Clarence hath not another day to live. Which done, God take King Edward at his mercy, and leave the world for me to bustle in. For then I'll marry Warwick's youngest daughter. What, though I killed her husband and her father? The readiest way to make the witch amends is to become her husband and her father. The which will I not all so much for love as for another secret close intent, by marrying her, which I must reach and do. But yet, I run before my horse to market. Clarence still breathes. Edward still lives and reigns. When they are gone, then must I count my days.
glow. In these windows that let forth thy life, I pour the helpless balm of my poor eyes.
Stay you that bear the course and set it down.
What black magician conjures up this feat to stop devoted charitable deeds?
Villains, set down the course, or by St. Paul, I'll make a course of him that disobeys.
What? Do you tremble? Are you all afraid? Alas, I blame you not, for you are mortal, and mortal eyes cannot endure the devil. A dreadful minister of hell. Thou hast the power over his mortal body, his soul thou canst not have. Therefore be gone.
Sweet saint for charity, be not so cursed.
Foul devil, for God's sake, hence and trouble us not. For thou hast made the happy earth thy hell, filled it with cursing cries and deep exclaims. If thou delight to view thy heinous deeds, behold this pattern of thy butcheries.
Lady, you know no rules of charity which renders good for bad, blessings for curses.
Villain, thou knowest nor law of God nor man, no beast so fierce with no some touch of pity.
I know none, and therefore am no beast.
Wonderful, when devils tell the truth.
More wonderful when angels are so angry. Vouchsafe divine perfection of a woman, of these supposed crimes to give me leave by circumstance to excuse myself.
Vouchsafe diffuse infection of a man, of these known evils, but to give me leave by circumstance to curse thy cursed self.
By such despair I should accuse myself.
And by despairing shalt thou stand excused for doing worthy vengeance on thyself that did unworthy slaughter upon others.
Say that I slew them not.
Then say they were not slain, but dead they are, and dead were slain by thee.
I did not kill your husband.
Why then? He is alive.
Nay, he is dead, being slain by Edward's hands.
Thou throat thou liest. Queen Margaret saw thy murderous falcon smoking in his blood. But when thou wouldst in bed against her breast, but thy brothers beat aside the point.
I was provoked by her slanderous tongue, and laid their guilt on my guiltless shoulders.
Thou wast provoked by thy bloody mind, that never dreamt on aught but butcheries. Didst thou not kill this king?
I grant.
Doth grant me. Hedgehog. Then God grant me too. Thou mayest be damned for thy wicked deeds. Oh, he was gentle, mild, and virtuous.
The better for the King of Heaven that hath me.
He is in heaven, where thou shouldst never come.
Let him thank me that hoped to send him thither, for he was fitter for that place than earth.
And thou art fit for any place but hell.
Yes, one place else, if you will hear me name it.
Some dungeon.
Your bedchamber.
It'll rest betide the chamber where thou liest.
So will it, madam, till I lie with you.
I hope so.
I know so. But, gentle Lady Anne, to leave this keen counter of our wits and to fall something into a slower method is not the causer of the timeless deaths of these Plantagenets Henry and Edward as blamed for as the executioner.
That was the cause and most accursed effect.
Thy beauty was the cause of that effect. Thy beauty that did haunt me in my sleep to undertake the death of all the world, that I might live 1 hour in your sweet bosom.
If I thought that, I'd tell thee homicide. These nails should rend that beauty from my cheeks.
These eyes could not endure that beauty's rack. You should not blemish it if I stood by. As all the world is cheered by the sun, so I by that. It is my day, my life.
Black night will shade thy day, and death thy life.
Curse not thyself, fair creature, thou art both.
I would have word to be revenged on thee.
It is a quarrel most unnatural to be revenged on him that loveth thee.
It is a quarrel, just and reasonable to be revenged on him that killed my husband.
He that bereft thee, lady, of thy husband, did it to help thee to a better husband.
His better does not bring upon the earth.
He lives and loves thee better than he could.
Where is he?
Here. Why dost thou spit at me?
Would it mortal poison for thy sake?
Never came poison from so sweet a place.
Never hung poison on a fouler toad. Out of my sight, thou dost infect mine eyes.
Thine eyes, sweet lady, have infected mine.
Would they were passions to strike thee dead?
I would they were, that I might die at once. But now they kill me with a living death. Those eyes of thine from mine have drawn soft tears, shamed their aspects with store of childish drops. These eyes which never shed remorseful tear, thy beauty hath made them blind with weeping. I never soothed a friend nor enemy. My tongue could never learn sweet smoothing word. But now thy beauty is proposed, my fee, my proud heart sues and promise my tongue to speak. Teach thy lips not such scorn, lady, for it was made for kissing, not for such contempt. But if thy revengeful heart cannot forgive, lo, I lend thee this sharp-pointed sword, which if thou please to hide in this breast, and lay forth the soul that adoreth thee, I lay it naked to deadly stroke, and humbly beg the death upon my knee. Nay, now dispatch, 'twas I that killed good King Edward, but 'twas thy heavenly face that provoked me. Nay, now dispatch, 'twas I that stabbed young Edward, but 'twas thy heavenly face that set me on. Take up the sword again, or take up me.
Arise, December. Though I wish thy death, I will not be thy executioner.
Then bid me kill myself, and I will do it.
I have already.
That was in thy rage. Say it again. And this hand that for thy love did kill thy love, will for thy love kill a far truer love. To both their deaths shalt thou be accessory.
I wish I knew thy heart.
Disfigured in my tongue.
I fear me both are false.
That never was man true.
Well, put up your sword.
Say then my peace is made.
That shall thou know hereafter.
But shall I live in hope?
All men I hope are so.
Vouchsafe to wear this ring.
To take is not to give.
Look how my ring encompasseth thy finger. Even so, thy poor breast encloseth my poor heart. Wear both of them, for both of them are thine. And if thy poor devoted servant may but beg one more favor at thy gracious hand, thou dost confirm his happiness forever.
What is it?
That you would leave these sad designs to him that hath more cause to be a mourner. Presently repair at Crosby House, for after I have solemnly interred this noble king in Thursday Monastery, and wet his grave with my repentant tears, I will with all expedient duty seek you. For divers unknown reasons, I beseech you, grant me this boon.
With all my heart. Much it joys me to see you are become so penitent.
Bid me farewell.
'Tis more than you deserve. But since you teach me how to flatter you, imagine I have said farewell. Already?
Was ever woman in this humor wooed? Was ever woman in this humor won? I'll have her, but I'll not keep her long. What? I killed her husband and his father to take her in her heart's extremest hate, curses in her mouth, tears in her eye, the bleeding witness of my hatred by. Have having got her conscience, and I no friends at all to back my suit, but the plain devil and dissembling looks, and yet to win her all the world to nothing. Ha! Shine out, fair sun, till I have bought a glass, so I may see my shadow as I pass.
Have patience, sister. There's no doubt His Majesty will soon recover, as a cousin tell him. In that you took it ill, it makes him worse. Therefore, for God's sake, entertain good comfort and cheer His Grace with quick and merry eyes.
If he were dead, what would betide on me?
No other harm but loss of such a lord.
The loss of such a lord includes all harm.
The heavens have blessed you with a goodly son to be your comforter when he is gone.
Oh, he is young, and his minority is put into the trust of Richard Gloucester, a man who loves not me nor none of you.
Is it concluded he shall be protector?
It is determined, not concluded yet, but so it must be if the king miscarry.
Here comes the Lord of Buckingham and Derby.
Good time of day, enter my royal grace.
God make your majesty joyful, as you have been.
The Countess Richmond, good my lord of Derby, to your good prayer would scarcely say amen. Yet Derby, notwithstanding, she's your wife and loves not me. Be you, good lord, assured I hate not you for her proud arrogance.
I do beseech you, either not believe the envious slanders of her false accusers, or if she be accused untrue reports, bear with her weakness, which I think proceeds from wayward sickness and no ground in that.
Saw you the king today, my lord of Derby?
Now the Duke of Buckingham and I are come from visiting his majesty.
What likelihood of his amendment, lords?
Madam, good hope. His Grace speaks cheerfully.
God grant him help. Did you confer with him?
Aye, madam, he wishes to make atonement between the Duke of Gloucester and your brothers, and between them and my Lord Chamberlain, and sent to warn them to his royal presence.
Would all were well, but that will never be. I fear our happiness is at the height.
They do me wrong, and I will not endure it. Who complains unto the king that I forsook him stern and loved him not? They love his grace but lightly, that fill his ears with such dissentious rumors. Cannot a plain man live and think no harm, but does his simple truth must be abused with silken, sly, insinuating jacks?
To who in all this presence speaks your grace?
To thee, that hath nor honesty nor grace. When have I injured thee? When done thee wrong? Or thee, or any of your faction? A plague upon you all! His royal grace, which God would preserve, cannot be quite scarce a breathing while, but you must bother him with lewd complaints.
Come, brother Gloucester, we know your meaning. You envy my advancement and my friends. God grant we never may have need of you.
But God grant that we have need of you. Our brother is imprisoned by your means, myself disgraced, and the nobility held in contempt, while great promotions are daily given to ennoble those that were scarce some 2 days since worth a noble.
By him who raised me to this careful height, from that contented hap which I enjoy. I never did incense his majesty against the Duke of Clarence, but have been an honest advocate to plead for him. My lord, you do me shameful injury falsely to draw me in these vile suspects.
You may deny that you were not the mean of my Lord Hastings' late imprisonment.
She may, my lord, for
She may, Lord Rivers. Who knows not so? She may do more than denying that. She may help you to many fair preferments, and then lay those honors on your high desert. Who knows she may not? She may, aye, marry, may she?
What marry may she?
Marry a bachelor, a king, and a handsome stripling, too.
My lord of Gloucester, I have due on board your blunt of brains and your bitter scoffs. By heaven, I will acquit his majesty of the gross taunts that oft I have endured. I had rather be a country servant maid than a great queen with this condition to be so baited, scorned, and stormed at. Small joy have I in being England's queen.
And lessened be that small God, I beseech him. Thy honor, state, and seat is due to me.
Let you be with telling of the king. Tell him and spare not. Look what I have said. I will vouch in the presence of the king. I dare venture to be sent to the tower. 'Tis time to speak. My pains are quite forgot.
Ouch, devil, I do remember them too well. Thou killedst my husband Henry in the Tower, and Edward my poor son at Tewkesbury.
My lord of Gloucester, in those busy days which here you urge to prove us enemies, we follow then our lord, our sovereign king. So should be you, if you should be our king.
If I should be, I had rather be a peasant, albeit from my heart the thought thereof.
As little joy, my lord, as you suppose you would enjoy, were you this country's king. As little joy you may suppose joys in me that I enjoy being the queen thereof.
As little joy enjoys the queen thereof, for I am she, and altogether joyless. I can no longer hold me patient. Hear me, you wrangling tyrants that call out in sharing that which you have killed from me. Which of you trembles not that looks on me? If not that I am queen, you bow like subjects. Yet that by you deposed, you quake like rebels. Ah, gentle villain, do not turn away.
Thou wrinkled witch, what makes thou in my sight?
But repetition of what thou hast marred, that will I make before I let thee go.
Wert thou not banished on pain of death?
I was, but I do find more pain in banishment than death can yield me here by my abode. A husband and a son thou owest to me, and thou a kingdom, all of you allegiance. This sorrow that I have by right is yours, and all the pleasures you usurp are mine. What? Were you snarling all before I came, ready to catch each other by the throat and turn you all your hatred now on me? Can curses pierce the clouds and enter heaven? Why then, give way, dull clouds, to my quick curses. Though not by war, by serpent die your king, as ours by murder to make him a king. Edward, thy son, that now is Prince of Wales. For Edward, our son, who was Prince of Wales, died in his youth by like untimely violence. Thyself a queen, for me that was a queen, outlive thy glory like my wretched self. Long mayest thou live to wail thy children's death, and see another as I see thee now, decked in thy rights as thou art stalled in mine. Long die thy happy days before thy death, and after many lengthened hours of grief, die neither mother, wife, nor England's queen. Rivers and Dorset you were standers by, and so wast thou, Lord Hastings, when my son was stabbed with bloody daggers. God, I pray him that none of you may live his natural age, but by some unlooked accident cut off.
Have done thy charm, thou hateful withered hag.
And leave out thee. Stay, dog, for thou shalt hear me. If heaven have any grievous plague in store for thee, oh, let them keep it till thy sins be ripened, then hurl down their indignation on thee, the troubler of the poor world's peace. The worm of conscience still gnaws thy soul. Thy friends suspect for traitors, while thou livest and take thee traitors to thy dearest friends. No sleep close up that deadly eye of thine, unless it be while some tormenting dream affrights thee with the hell of ugly devils. Thou elvish marked, abortive, rooting hog, thou that wast sealed in thy native issue, slave of nature and the son of hell, thou slaver of thy happy mother's womb, the loathed issue of thy father's loins, the wrath of thy Richard! Ah! I call thee not.
I pray you mercy then, for I think thou hast called me all these bitter names.
Why, so I did, but looked for no reply. Oh, let me make the period to my curse.
'Tis done by me in Inns and Margaret.
Thus you have breathed your curse against yourself.
Poor, painted queen, vain flourish of my fortune! Why strewest thou sugar on that bottled spider whose deadly web ensnareth thee about? Fool, thou wast the night to kill thyself. The day will come when thou shalt wish for me to help thee curse this poisonous bunchback toad.
False-boding woman, in thy frantic curse, lest should thy harm thou move our patience.
Foul shame upon you, you have all moved mine.
Were you well served, you would be taught your duty.
To serve me well, you all should do me duty. Teach me to be your queen, and you my subjects. Oh, serve me well, and teach yourselves that duty.
Dispute not with her, she's lunatic.
Peace! Peace for shame, if not for charity.
Urge neither shame nor charity to me. Uncharitably with me have you dealt, and shamefully my hopes by you are butchered. My charity is outrage, life my shame, and in that shame still lives my sorrow's rage.
Have done. Have done.
Princely Buckingham, I'll take thy hand and kiss it, sign of league and amity with thee. Now fair befall thee and thy noble house. Thy garments are not spotted with our blood, nor thou within the compass of my curse.
Nor no one here, for curses never pass the lips of those that breathe them in the air.
I will not think that they ascend the sky, and there await God's gentle sleeping peace. Oh my, take heed of yonder dog. Look, when he fawns, he bites. And when he bites, his venom tooth will rankle to the death. Have not to do with him, beware of him. Sin, death, and hell have left their marks on him, and all their ministers attend on him.
My cousin of Buckingham, what doth she say?
Nothing that I respect, my gracious lord.
Dost thou scorn me for my gentle counsel, and soothe the devil that I warn thee from? Oh, but remember this another day, when he shall split thy very heart with sorrow, and say poor Margaret was a prophetess. Live each of you the subjects to his hate, and he to yours, and all of you to God's.
My hair doth stand an end to hear her curses.
So doth mine. I muse why she's at liberty.
I cannot blame her, for she has had too much wrong, and I repent my part thereof that I have done unto her.
I never did her any to my knowledge.
And yet you have all the vantage of her wrong.
Madam, his majesty doth call you, and for your graces, and yours, my gracious lord.
Anon I come, lords, will you go with me?
We wait upon your grace.
I do the wrong and first begin to brawl. The secret mischiefs that I set abroach I lay into the grievous charge of others. Clarence, who I indeed have cast in darkness, I do bereave to many simple goals, namely Derby, Hastings, Buckingham, and tell them 'tis the queen and her allies that stir the king, my brother, against the duke, my lord. And then they believe it, and with all wet me to be revenged on Rivers and Dorset. But then I sigh, tell them with a piece of scripture that God bids us do good for evil. And thus I clothe my naked villainy with odd Odin's stone forth of holy writ, and seem a saint when most I claim to devil. But soft, here come my executioners. Too slow. He's watching me. You should really be nicer to him. I'm gonna be one. Remember. How now, my hardy, stout, resolved mates? Are you going out to dispatch this thing?
We are, and come to have the warrant that we may be admitted where he is.
Well thought upon, I have it here about me. But soft, be sudden in the execution, with all obdurate. Do not hear him bleed, for Clarence is well spoken, and may move your hearts to pity if you mark.
Tut tut, my lord, we will not stand to prate. Talkers are no good doers. Be assured we go to use our hands and not our tongues.
Your eyes drop millstones, when fools' eyes fall tears. I like you, lads. About your business straight. Go, dispatch.
We will, my lord. Hurry up.
Oh, I've passed a miserable night, so full of fearful dreams, of ugly sights, and as I am a Christian, faithful man, I would not spend another such a night, though 'twere to buy a world of happy days, so full of dismal terror was the time. Methought that I had broken from the tower, and was embarked to cross to Burgundy, and in my company my brother Gloucester, who from my cabin tempted me to walk upon the hatches. Thence we looked toward England, and sighted up 1,000 heavy times during the wars of York and Lancaster that had befallen us. As we paced along upon the giddy footings of the hatches, Methought that Gloucester stumbled, and in falling struck me, that thought to stay him overboard into the tumbling billows of the main. Oh Lord, methought what pain it was to drown, what dreadful noise of waters in my ears, what sights of ugly death within my eyes. Methought I saw 1,000 fearful rats, 1,000 men at fishes gnawed upon, wedges of gold, great anchors, heaps of pearls, inestimable stones, unvalued jewels, all scattered in the bottom of the sea. Some lay in dead men's skulls, and in the holes where eyes did once inhabit, there were crept, as 'twere in scorn of eyes, reflecting gems, that wooed the slimy bottom of the deep, and mocked the dead bones that lay scattered by. O God, my deep prayers do not appease thee. Thou wilt be avenged on my misdeeds, yet execute thy wrath in me alone. O spare my guiltless wife, my poor children.
What? Shall I stab him as he sleeps?
No, else I thrust him cowardly when he wakes!
Why, he shall never wake until the great judgment day!
Why did I say we stop him sleeping?
Urging of that word judgment hath bred a kind of remorse in me.
What? Art thou afraid?
Not to kill him having a warrant, but to be damned for killing him from the which no word could defend me.
I thought thou had been resolute.
So I am. To let him live.
Go back to the Duke of Gloucester and tell him so.
Nay, I prithee stay a little. I hope this passionate humor of mine will change. It was wont to hold me but while one tells 20.
How dost thou feel thyself now?
Faith, some certain dregs of conscience are yet within me.
Remember our reward when the deed's done.
Zounds, he dies! I have forgot the reward!
Where's thy conscience now?
Oh, in the Duke of Gloucester's purse.
When he opens his purse to give us all reward, thy conscience flies out.
'Tis no matter, let it go. There are few or none who will entertain it.
What if it comes to thee again?
I'll not meddle with it.
Zounds, 'tis even now at my elbow persuading me not to kill the Duke.
Take the devil in thy mind and believe him not. He would insinuate with thee, but to make thee sigh.
I am strong-framed. He cannot prevail with me.
Spoke like a tall man who respects thy reputation. Come, shall we fall to work?
Take him on the costard with the hilts of thy sword, and then throw him in the Malmsey butt in the next room.
Oh, excellent device, and make a sop of him.
Soft. He wakes.
Strike!
No. We'll reason with him.
What art thou, keeper? Give me a cup of wine.
You shall have wine enough, my lord, anon.
In God's name, what art thou?
A man, as you are.
But not as I am royal.
Nor you, as we are loyal.
Thy voice is thunder, but thy looks are humble.
My voice is now the king's, my looks my own.
How darkly and how deadly dost thou speak? Your eyes do menace me. Why look you pale? Who sent you hither? Wherefore do you come? To murder me?
Aye.
You scarcely have the hearts to tell me so, and therefore cannot have the hearts to do it. Wherein, my friends, have I offended you?
Offended us you have not, but the king.
I shall be reconciled to him again.
Never, my lord, therefore prepare to die.
Are you drawn forth among a world of men to slay the innocent? What is my offense? Where is the evidence that doth accuse me? What lawful quest have given their verdicts up unto the frowning judge? Or who pronounced the bitter sentence of poor Clarence death before I be convicted by course of law? To threaten me with death is most unlawful. I charge you, as you hope to have redemption by Christ's dear blood shed for our grievous sins, that you depart and lay no hands on me. The deed you undertake is damnable.
What we do upon command.
And he that hath commanded us is our king.
Cronies, bastards, The great King of kings hath in the table of his law commanded that thou shalt do no murder. Will you spurn his edict and fulfill a man's? Take heed, for he holds vengeance in his hand to hurl upon their heads that break his law.
Thy brother's love, our duty, and thy faults provoke us hither now to slaughter thee.
If you love my brother, hate not me, for I am his brother, and I love him well. If you are hired from me, go back again. I'll send you to my brother Gloucester, who will reward you better for my life than Edward will for tidings of my death.
You are deceived, for your brother Gloucester hates you.
Oh, no, he loves me, and holds me dear. Go you to him from me.
Aye, so we will.
Tell him, when that our princely father York blessed his 3 sons with his victorious arm, he little thought of this divided friendship. Make Gloucester think of this, and he will weep.
Aye, millstones as he lessoned us to weep.
Do not slander him, for he is kind.
Right, as the snow in harvest. Come, you deceive yourself. 'Tis he that sends us to slaughter you here.
It cannot be, for he bewept my fortune, and hugged me in his arms, and swore with sobs that he would labor my delivery.
Why, so he doth, when he delivers you from this earth's thraldom to the joys of heaven.
Make peace with God, for you must die, my lord.
My friend, I spy some pity in thy looks. Oh, if thine eye be not a flatterer, come thou on my side, and entreat for me. A begging prince, what beggar pities not?
Look behind you, my lord.
Take that and knock him. And if all this will not do, I'll drown him in the long sea but within.
So prosper I as I swear perfect love.
And I as I love Hastings with my heart.
Madam, you yourself are not exempt from this. Nor you, son Dorset, Buckingham, nor you. You have been factious, one against the other. Wife, love Lord Hastings. Let him kiss your hand. And whatever you do, do it unfeigned.
There, Hastings, I will never more remember our former hatred. So thrive I in mine.
Dorset, embrace him. Hastings, you love Lord Marquess.
This interchange of love I here protest, upon my part shall be inviolable.
And so swear I.
Now, princely Buckingham, seal thou this league with thine embracements, my wife's allies, and make me happy in your union.
Whenever Buckingham doth turn his hate upon your grace, but with all duteous love doth cherish you and yours, God punish me in hate in those where I expect most love, when I have most need to employ a friend, and most assured that he is a friend, deep, hollow, treacherous, and full of guile be he unto me. This do I beg of God when I am cold in love to you or yours.
A pleasing cordial, princely Buckingham. Is this thy vowings of my sickly heart? Thou wanteth now our brother Gloucester here to make the blessed period of peace.
And in good time here comes the Lady Ratcliffe and the Duke.
Good morrow, my sovereign's king and queen, and princely peers. A happy time of day.
Happy indeed as we have spent today. Gloucester, be there love of hate among his swelling, wrong insensate peers.
A blessed labor, my most sovereign lord. 'Tis death to me to be at enmity. I hate and desire all good men's love.
A holy day shall this be kept hereafter. I would to God that all strifes were well compounded. My sovereign lord, I do beseech your highness to take our brother Clarence to your grace.
Madam, have I offered love for this to be so flouted in this royal presence? Who knows not that the gentle duke is dead?
What?
You do him injury to score his course.
Who knows not that he is dead? Who knows that he is?
All saint heaven, what a world is this?
Is Clarence dead? The order was reversed.
But he, poor man, by your first order died, and that a winged Mercury did bear so tawny cripple bear the countermand that came to life to see him buried.
Who is my man? Kneel at my feet and beg me be advised. Who spoke of brotherhood? Who spoke of love? Oh God, I fear thy justice will take hold on me and you and mine and yours for this. Come, Hastings, help me to my closet. Ah, poor Clarence.
This is the fruits of rashness. Mark you not how the guilty kindred of the queen looked pale when they heard of Clarence's death? And yet they did still urge it unto the king. God will revenge it. Come, friends, will you come to comfort Edward with our company?
We wait upon your grace.
Ah, who shall hinder me to wail and weep, to chide my fortune and torment myself? I'll join with black despair against my soul and to myself becoming weeping.
What means this scene of rooted patience?
To make an act of tragic violence. Edward, my lord, thy son, our king, is dead. Why grow the branches when the roots are gone? Why wither not the leaves that were their sap? If you would live, lament. If die, be grief that our swift wicked souls may catch the kings, or like obedient subjects follow him to that new kingdom of never changing night.
Oh, so much interest have I in my sorrows. I have title in my noble husband. I have bewept a worthy husband's death and lived with looking on his images. But now, two mirrors of his princely semblance are cracked in pieces by malignant death, and I, for comfort, have but one false glass that grieves me when I see my shame in him. Thou art a widow, yet thou art a mother, and hast the comfort of her children left. But death hath snatched my husband from mine arms, and plucked two crutches from my feeble hands, Clarence and Edward. Oh, what cause have I, thine being but a moiety of my own, to overflow thy woes and drown thy cries?
Give me no help in lamentation. I am not barren to bring forth complaints. All springs reduce their currents to mine eyes, that I, being covered by the watery moon, may send forth plenteous tears to drown the world. Oh, for my husband, for my poor Edward.
Comfort, dear mother, God is much displeased that you take unthankfulness in his doom. The common worldly thinks 'tis cold ungrateful, with dull unwillingness to repay a debt which with bounteous hand is kindly lent. Much more be thus opposite with heaven, for it requires the loyal debt it lent you.
Madam, bethink you, like a careful mother, of the young prince your son. Send strength with him, let him be crowned. In him your comfort lives. Drown desperate sorrows in dead Edward's grave, and plant your joys in living Edward's throne.
Sister, have comfort. We all have cause to well the dimming of our shining star, but none can help our harms by way of it. Madam, my mother, I do cry you mercy, for I did not see your grace. Humbly, on my knee, I crave your blessing.
May God bless thee, and put meekness in thy breast, love, charity, obedience, and true duty.
Amen. And make me die a good old man, that is was the butt end of a mother's blessing. I do marvel her grace did leave it out.
Cloudy princes and heart-sorrowing peers, that bear in this heavy mutual load of moan, now cheer each other in each other's love. Though we have spent our harvest of this king, we are to reap the harvest of his son. The broken rancor of your high-swollen hates, but lately splintered, knit, and joined together, must gently be cherished, preserved, and kept. Meseemeth good that with some little train forthwith from Ludlow the young prince be fed hither to London to be crowned our king.
Why with some little train, my lord of Buckingham?
Marry, my lord, lest by some multitude the new-healed wound of malice should break out, which would be so much the more dangerous by how much the estate is green and yet ungoverned. My lord, whoever journeys to the prince, and not us two stay behind, for by the way our sort occasion, as index to the story we late talked of, to part the queen's proud kindred from the prince.
My other self, my counsel's consistory, my oracle, my prophet, my dear cousin. I, as a child, will go by thy direction to Ludlow then, for will not stay behind.
Last night, I hear, they lay at Stony Stratford, and at Northampton they rest tonight. Tomorrow or next day they will be here.
Oh, I long with all my heart to see the prince. I hope he has much grown since last I saw him. But I hear no, they say my son of York hath almost o'ertaken him in his grown.
Aye, mother, but I would not have it so.
Why, my good cousin, it is good to grow.
Grandam, one night as we did to that supper, my uncle Rivers talked out his bread. More than my brother. Aye, good smart little bastard. Son, let them grace great weeds to grow a face. And since, methinks, I will not grow so fast, because sweet flowers are slow, and weeds make haste.
Oh, good faith, the same did not hold in him that did object the same to thee. He was the wretchedest thing when he was young, so long a growing and so leisurely that if his rule were true, he should be gracious.
And so no doubt he is that gracious.
I hope he is, but yet let mothers doubt.
Now, by my troth, if I had been remembered, I should have given my uncle's grace and flowers to judge his breath, ere they judge mine.
How, my young York? I prithee let me hear it.
Mary, they say my uncle grew so fast that he could not have passed it to I was old. 'Twas full 2 years ere I could get to. Grandam, this would have been a bite check.
I prithee, pretty York. Who told thee this?
Grandam, his nurse.
His nurse? Why, she was dead ere thou was born.
If not she, I cannot tell.
A parlous boy, go to, you are too shrewd. Madam, be not angry with the child. Pitchers have ears.
Here comes a messenger. What news?
News, my lord. It grieves me to report.
How doth the prince?
Well, madam, and in health.
What is thy news?
Lord Rivers sent upon for prisoner.
Who hath committed him?
The mighty Dukes Gloucester and Buckingham.
For what offense?
The sum of all I can I have disclosed. Why or for what the noble was committed is all unknown to me, my gracious lord.
I see the ruin of my house. The tiger now hath seized the gentle hind. Insulting tyranny begins to jut upon the innocent and all his throne. Welcome destruction, blood, and massacre. I see as in a map the end of all.
Accursed and unquiet wrangling days, how many of you have mine eyes beheld? My husband lost his life to get the crown, and often up and down my sons were tossed for me to joy and weep their gain and loss. And being seated in domestic broils, clean overblown themselves, the conquerors make war upon themselves. Brother to brother, blood to blood, self against self. Oh, preposterous and frantic outrage, and I dare explain, or let me die to look on earth no more.
Come, my boy, we must to sanctuary. Madam, farewell.
Stay, I will go with you.
You have no cause.
My gracious lady, go and thither bear your treasures and your goods. For my part, I was honored to your grace to steal I keep, and so with tie to me as well I tender you and all of yours. Go, I'll conduct you to the sanctuary.
to London to your chamber.
Welcome, dear cousin, my thoughts, sovereign. The weary way hath made you melancholy.
No, uncle, but our crosses on the way have made it tedious, wearisome, and heavy. I want more uncles here to welcome me.
Sweet prince, the untainted virtue of your years hath not yet dived into the world of deceit. Nor more can you make of a man than of his outward show, which God he knows seldom or never jumpeth with the heart. Those uncles that you want were dangerous. Your grace attended to their sugared words, but not looked on the poison of their hearts. God keep you from them and from such false friends.
God keep me from false friends, but there were none. I thought my mother and my brother York would long ere this have met us on the way. Fie, what a slug is Hastings that he comes not, to tell us whether they will come or no.
And in good time, here comes the sweating lord.
Welcome, my lord. What? Will our mother come?
Oh, on what occasion? God, he knows, not I. The queen, your mother, and your brother York have taken sanctuary. The timid prince would fain have come with me to meet your grace, but by his mother was perforce withheld.
Fine, what an indirect and thievish course is this of hers. Archbishop, will your grace persuade the queen to send the Duke of York unto his princely brother presently? If she deny, Lord Hastings go with him, and from her jealous arms pluck him, perforce.
My lord of Buckingham, if my weak oratory can from his mother win the Duke of York and not expect him here, but if she be obdurate to mild entreaties, God in heaven forbid we should infringe the holy privilege of blessed sanctuary. Not for all this land would I be guilty of so deep a sin.
You are too senseless obstinate, my lord, too ceremonious and traditional. Weigh it but with the grossness of this age. You break not sanctuary in seizing him. The benefit thereof has always been granted to those whose dealings have deserved the place, and those who have the wit to claim the place. This prince hath neither claimed it nor deserved it, and therefore, in mine opinion, cannot have it. Then, taking him from thence that is not there, you break no privilege nor charter there. Oft I have heard of sanctuary men, sanctuary children, never till now.
You may overrule my mind for once. Come on, Lord Hastings, will you go with me?
I go, my lord.
Good lords, make all the speedy haste you may. Say, Uncle Gloucester, if our brother come, where shall we sojourn till our coronation?
Where it seems best unto your royal self, but if I may counsel you, some day or two your highness shall repose you at the tower.
I do not like the tower of any place. I'll tell you what, my cousin Buckingham.
What, my gracious lord?
And if I live until I be a man, I'll win our ancient right in France again, or die a soldier as I live a king.
Short summers likely have a forward spring.
And in good time here comes the Duke of York.
Richard of York, how fair is our loving brother?
Well, my dear lord, so I must call you now.
Aye, brother, to our grief as it is yours. Too late he died that he might have kept that title, which by his death hath lost much majesty.
How fares our cousin, noble lord of York?
I thank you, King Uncle. Oh, my lord, you said that I do weeds and fast and growth. The prince, my brother, hath outgrown the bar,
He hath, my lord.
and therefore is he idle,
Oh, my gentle cousin, I must not say so.
and he is more beholding to you than I.
You may command me as my sovereign, but you have power in me as in a kinsman.
I pray you, uncle, give me this dagger.
My dagger, little cousin, with all my heart.
A beggar, brother?
Of my kind uncle, that I know of it, but a toy which is no grief to give.
A greater gift than that I'll give my cousin.
A greater gift? Oh, that's the sword to it.
Aye, gentle cousin, were it light enough.
Oh, then I see you were part of with white things. And when your creatures say a beggar thing,
It is too heavy for your grace to wear.
I wage lightly were it heavier.
What, would you have my weapon, little lord?
I would, that I might think you as you call me.
How?
Little.
My lord of York will still be cross and talk. Uncle, your grace knows how to bear with him.
You need to bear with, not to bear with. Uncle, my brother loves both you and me, because I am little, like an ape. He thinks that you should bear me on your shoulders.
With what a sharp provided wit he reasons. To mitigate the scorn he gives his uncle, he so prettily and aptly taunts himself. So cunning and so young is wonderful.
My lord, will please you pass along. Myself and my good cousin Buckingham will to your mother to entreat her to meet you at the tower and to welcome you.
What? Are you going to the tower, my lord?
My lord protector needs will have it so.
I shall not sleep in quiet at the tower.
Why? What should you fear?
Mary, my uncle Clarence is angry ghost. My granddad told me he was murdered there.
I fear no uncle's dead.
Nor none that live, I hope.
And if they live, I hope I need not fear. But come, my lord, with a heavy heart, thinking on them, go I to the tower.
Think you, my lord, this little prating York was not insensate by his subtle mother to taunt and scorn you thus opprobriously?
No doubt, but to the parlous boy, bold and quick and genius, forward, capable. He is all the mother's from top to toe.
Well, let them rest. Come hither, Catesby. Thou art sworn as deeply to effect what we intend as closely to conceal what we impart. Thou knowest our reasons urged upon the way. What thinkest thou? Is it not an easy matter to make William Lord Hastings of our mind in the installment of the noble Duke to the seat royal of this famous isle?
He, for his father's sake, so loves the prince that he will not be won to aught against him.
What thinkest then of Stanley, will not he?
He will do all in all as Hastings does.
Well, then no more but this. Go, gentle Catesby, and as if it were far off, sound thou Lord Hastings how he doth stand affected to our purpose, and summon him tomorrow to the tower to sit about the coronation. If he be tractable to us, encourage him, and give him all of our reasons. If he is leaden, icy, cold, or unwilling, be thou so too, and so break off the talk, and give us notice of his inclination. For we tomorrow hold divided councils, wherein thyself shalt be highly employed.
Kate, shall we hear from you ere we sleep?
You shall, my lord.
At Crosby House, there shall you find us both.
My lord, what shall we do if we perceive Lord Hastings shall not yield to our complots?
Chop off his head!
Oh.
Something we will determine and look when I am king. Claim thou of me the earldom of Hereford, and all the movables wherefore the king my brother was possessed.
I'll claim that at your grace's hand.
And have it with all kindness, you. Come, let us sup betimes, which afterwards we might digest our complots in some form.
Many good morrows to my noble lord.
Good morrow, Catesby. You are early stirring. What news? What news in this our tottering state?
It is a reeling world indeed, my lord, and I believe will never stand upright till Richard wear the garland of the realm.
I'll wear the garland. Dost thou mean the crown?
I, my good lord.
I'd sooner have this crown of mine cut from my shoulders before I see the crown so foul misplaced. But can you guess that he not lay that?
I, on my life, and hopes to find you forward upon his party the game thereof. Thereupon he sends you this good news, that this same very day your enemies, the kindred of the queen, must die upon prey.
Indeed, I am no mourner for that news, for they have been still my adversaries. But that'll get my voice on Richard's side, to bar my master's heirs and true descent. God knows I will not do it to the death.
God keep your lordship in that gracious bond.
But I shall laugh at this 12 months hence. They that brought me my master's hate, I will live to look upon their tragedy. Well, Catesby, ere a fortnight make me older, I'll send some packing that yet faded on aught.
'Tis a vile thing to die, my gracious lord, when men are unprepared and look not for it.
Oh, come on! Where is your boar spear man? Fear you the war and no sword provided?
Lord, good morrow, Catesby. You may just on, but by the holy rood,
I do not like these several counsels I.
My lord, I hold my life as dear as you do yours, and never in all my days, I do protest, was it so precious to me as 'tis now. Think you but that I know our state secure, I would be so triumphant as I am?
The lords at Pomfret, when they rode from London, were jocund and supposed their states were sure, and they indeed had no cause to mistrust. But did you see how soon the day o'ercast? The sudden stab of rancor I misdoubt. Pray God, I say, I prove a needless coward. What, shall we toward the tower the day spent?
Come, what you want, my lord? Today the lords who talked of our beheading.
They for their truth might better wear their heads, to some that have accused them wear their hats. But come, my lord.
Now, noble kings, the cause of our events is to determine of the coronation. In God's name, speak. When is the royal day?
Is all things ready for the royal tide?
It is, and once for nomination.
Tomorrow, then, I wish a happy day.
Who knows the Lord Protector's mind herein? Who is most inward with the noble Duke?
Your Grace, we think, should soonest know his mind.
We know each other's faces. As for our hearts, he knows no more of mine than I of yours, or I of his, my lord, than you of mine. Lord Hastings, you and he are near in love?
I think his grace. I know he loves me well, but for his cause in the coronation I have not sounded him, nor he delivered his gracious pleasure anyway therein. But you, my noble lords, may name the time, and on the Duke's behalf I'll give my voice, which I presume he'll take in gentle part.
In happy time, here comes the Duke himself.
To all my noble lords and cousins, all good morrow. I do believe that by my absence there hath been nothing conducted that might have been concluded by my presence.
Had you not come upon your cue, my lord, William Lord Hastings had pronounced your part. I mean your voice for crowning of the king.
Then my Lord Hastings, no man might be bolder. His lordship knows me well and loves me well. My Lady Emily, when I was last in Boulder and I saw good strawberries in your garden there, I do beseech for you, send for some of them.
Marry and will, my lord, with all my heart.
My cousin of Buckingham, a word with you. Catesby hath sounded Hastings in our business, and finds the testy gentleman so hot that he will lose his head ere give consent that his master's child, as worshipfully he terms it, shall lose the royalty of England's throne.
Withdraw yourself a while, I'll go with you.
We have not yet set down this day of triumph. Tomorrow, in my judgment, is too sudden, for I myself am not so well provided as else I would be, were the day prolonged.
Where is my lord, the Duke of Gloucester? I have sent for these strawberries.
His grace looks cheerfully and smooth this morning. There's some conceit her other likes him well when he bids good morrow in such spirits. I think there's never a man in Christendom can lesser hide his lover hates than he, for by his face straight shall you know his heart.
What of his heart perceive you in his face by any livelihood he shown today?
Marry, and with no man here he is offended, for if he were, he'd have showed it in his looks.
I pray you all, tell me what they deserve that conspire my death with devilish plots of damned witchcraft, and that have prevailed upon my body with their hellish charms.
The tender love I bear your grace, my lord, makes me most forward in this princely presence to doom the offenders, whosoever they be. I say, my lord, they deserve it death.
Then be your eyes the witness of their evil. Look how I am bewitched. Behold, mine arm like a blasted sapling withered up. And this is that Edward's wife, that monstrous witch, consorted with that harlot strumpet sore, that by their witchcraft thus have mocked me.
If they have done this deed, my noble lord.
Thou speaks to me of this, thou protector of this damaged stomach. Thou art a traitor. Off with this head. By St. Paul, I will not dine until I see the same. Ratcliffe, Norfolk, look that it be done. The rest that love me, rise and follow me.
Woe for England, not a whit for me, for I too long might have prevented this. Oh, Margaret, Margaret, now thy heavy curse is lighted on poor Hastings' wretched head.
Come, dispatch. The Duke would be at dinner. Take a short shrift, he longs to see your head.
Oh, momentary grace of the wind, which people hunt for with the grace of God, who builds his hope in the air of your good looks, lives like a drunken sailor on a mast, ready with every dart to tumble down into the fatal bowels of the deep.
Come, dispatch this bootless to explain.
Oh, bloody Richard! Miserable England! I prophesy the fearfulest time to thee that ever this wretched age hath looked upon. Come, lead me to the block, there in my head. They smile at thee who shortly shall be there.
How now, what say the citizens?
By the holy mother of our Lord, the citizens are mum. Say not a word.
Touched you the blasphemy of Edward's
I did, with his contract with Lady Lucy and his contract by deputy in France, the insatiate greediness of his desires and his enforcement of the city wives, his tyranny for trifles and his own bastardy as being God your father that in France and his own resemblance being not like the Duke. Withal I did infer your lineaments, your being the right idea of your father, both in your form and nobleness of mind, laid open all your victories in Scotland, your bounty, virtue, fair humility, indeed left nothing fitting for your purpose untouched or slightly handled in discourse. And when mine oratory had drew toward end, I bid them that did love their country's good cry, God save Richard, England's royal king!
And did they something?
No, so God help me, they spake not a word, but like dumb statues or breathing stones stared each on other and looked deadly pale. Which when I saw, I reprehended them, and when I had done, some few followers of mine own at lower end of the hall hurled up their caps, and some 10 voices cried, God save Queen Richard! And so I took advantage of those few. Thanks, gentle citizens and friends, quoth I. This general applause and cheerful shout argues your wisdoms and your love to Richard. And even here brake off and came away.
What tongueless blocks were they? Would they not speak?
The bishop is here at hand. Intend you some fear. And look, you get a prayer book about you, for on that ground I'll make a holy descant, and be not easily won to our requests.
I go.
Welcome, dear friends. I dance attendance here. I think you will not be Now, good Catesby, what says your lord to my request?
He doth entreat your grace, my noble lord, to visit him tomorrow or next day. He is within the two right reverend fathers, divinely bent on meditation, and in no worldly suit would he be moved to draw him from this holy exercise.
Return, gentle Catesby, to the gracious Duke. Tell him, myself, the citizens and the bishop, and he preside, that no moment less important than our general good, have come to have some conference with his grace.
I'll signify so much unconstraint.
Aha, my friends, this prince is not an Edward.
No.
He is not lolling in a lewd love bed, on his knees in meditation. Not dallying with a brace of courtesans, but meditating with two deep divines. Not sleeping to engross his idle body, but praying to enrich his watchful soul. Happy were even would this virtuous prince take on him the sovereignty thereof, but sure I fear we shall not win him to it. Now, Catesby, what says your grace?
He wonders to what end you have assembled such troops of citizens. His grace not being warned of there before, he fears, my lord, you mean no good to him.
Sorry I am, my noble cousin should suspect me that I be no good to him. By heaven, we come to him in perfect love. So return once more and tell his grace. When holy and devout religious men are at their beads, 'tis much to draw them thence. So sweet is zealous contemplation.
Aye.
Famous Plantagenet, most gracious prince, lend favorable ear to our request, and pardon us the interruption of thy devotion and right Christian zeal.
My lord, there needs no such apology. I do beseech your grace to pardon me, who earnest in the service of my God deferred the visitation of my friends, but leaving this, what is your grace's pleasure?
Even that I hope which might pleaseth God above, and all good men of this ungoverned isle.
I do suspect that I have done some offense that seems disgracious in the city's eyes, that you come to reprehend my ignorance.
You have. Why did you? your grace on our entreaties to amend your fault.
Where else be thou in a Christian land?
No, then, it is your fault that you resign the supreme seat, the throne of the temple, the scepter of your ancestors. Therefore, take the fortune and your due of birth, the lineal glory of your royal house, unto the corruption of a blemish. Your grace to take on you the charge and kingly government of this your land. Or steward or substitute or lowly factor for some other's gain, but as successively from blood to blood your own. For this, consorted with the citizens, your very loving and worshipful friends, and in their regular instigation, for this from I to move your grace.
Your love deserves my thanks. But my desert unmeritable shuns your high request. I think there is no need of me, and if I need to help you, were there need? The royal tree hath left us royal fruit. By the stealing hours of time will well become the seat of majesty, and make us no doubt happy by his reign. I beg that you would lay on me the right and fortune of his happy stars, which God thinks that I should reign from him.
This is your conscience in your grace. But, good my lord, take to yourself this proffered benefit of dignity, if not to bless us and the land below, yet to draw forth your glorious ancestry from the corruption of
Would you heed this care on me? I am unfit for sacred majesty. I do receive taken on this. I cannot, or I will not yield to you.
As in love and zeal, loath to depose the child, your brother's son, yet, as well we know your tenderness of heart and kind, gentle, effeminate remorse, yet, which we have noticed in you to your kinsmen and indeed to all the states, yet nowhere you accept our suit or know your brother's son will never reign our king. No! We will plant some other on the throne, to the disgrace and downfall of your house. And in this resolution here we leave you. Come, citizens, zounds, I'll entreat no more.
Again, sweet prince, accept their suit. If you deny them, all the land will ruin.
You force me to a world of cares. Call them again, for I am not made of stone with a bitter to your dying entreaties, albeit against my confidence and myself. Fortune on my back to bear her burden where I will or no. I must have patience to endure the load. But God knows, and you may partly see how far I am from the desire of this.
Then I salute you with this royal title. Long live Richard, England's worthy king.
Long live Richard, England's worthy king! Long live Richard, England's worthy king!
Tomorrow may it please you to be crowned.
Even when you have it, for you will have it so.
Tomorrow then we will attend your grace, and now so joyfully we take our leave.
Farewell!
How's everyone doing? How are we doing? I wasn't in it. I was. Doing good?
So yeah, when I came back from the drowning scene,
Yes.
I had no idea what it was.
So you were just guessing.
For a good minute. And like,
He was on you for like.
I know, and I was just guessing about what shot he would
We're
want.
no good. He wasn't.
And I was afraid he was like trying to do something with it. So I looked at my phone, finally figured it out, and then I went back to normal. But
No, they thought much
of all the cameras, like he's not going to camera 1 as much, nearly as much as camera 2. The one guy who couldn't pass the camera test is on
One loser over there.
No, he's become one of the worst, one of the best, and
He's transplant. See, that's what we've always said about him. He's a good boy. He's proud. He's proud.
transition from. Somebody left.
Still rolling? You're not rolling. You're still rolling. Okay, good. Okay, let me tell you what I'm going to do when I get into editing. Just, I'm going to sync up the very beginning and then check at the end to make sure I'm still listening. Okay. I'll tell you, we'll discuss it on Thursday.
Who meets us here? Daughter of 12 men.
God give your graces both a happy and joyful time of day.
As much to you, good sister, witherling.
No further than the tower, and as I guess upon the like devotions as yourself, congratulate the gentle princess there.
Kind sister, thanks. We'll enter all together. And in good time, here the lieutenant comes. Pray you, master lieutenant, by your leave, how doth the prince and my young son of York?
Right well, dear madam. By your patience I may not suffer you to visit them. The king hath strictly charged to the contrary.
The king? Who's that?
I mean the Lord Protector.
The Lord protect him from that kingly title. Have he set bounds between that love and me? I am their mother. Who shall bar me from them?
I am their father's mother. I will see them.
Their aunt, I am in love with their mother. Then bring me to their sides, I'll bear thy blame, and take thy office from thee.
No, madam, no. I may not leave it so. I am bound by oath, and therefore pardon me.
Let me meet you ladies 1 hour hence, and I'll salute your grace of York as mother and reverend looker on of 2 fair queens. Come, madam, you must straight to Westminster, there to be crowned Richard's royal queen.
Oh, cut my lace asunder, that my pit heart may have some scope to beat, or else I swoon from this dead-killing news.
The spiteful tidings! Oh, what pleasing news!
We have good cheer, mother. How fares your grace?
O Dorset, speak not to me. Get thee gone, death and destruction dogs thee at thy heels. Thy mother's name is ominous to children. If thou wilt outstrip death, go live with Richmond across the seas for the reach of hell. Go! Hide thee hiding from the slaughterhouse, lest thou increase the number of the dead and make me die the thrall of Margaret's curse, no mother wife of England's counted queen.
Full of wise care is this her counsel, madam. Take all the swift advantage of the hour. You shall have letters from me to my son in your behalf, to meet you on the way. Be not ta'en tardy by unwise delay.
Oh, ill-dispersing wind of misery! Oh, my accursed wound! The bed of death! A cockatrice hast thou hatched in the world, whose unavoided eye is murderous!
Come, madam, come. I in all haste was sent.
And I with all unwillingness will go. Oh, would to God that the inclusive verge of golden metal that was round my brow were red, hot steel to sear me to the brains. Anointed, let me be the deadly venom and die ere men can say, God save the queen.
Go, poor soul. I envy not thy glory. To feed my humor, wish thyself no harm.
No? Why? Would he that is my husband now came to me as I followed Henry's horse, when scarce the blood was well washed from his hands that issued from my other angel husband, and that dear saint which that I weeping followed. Oh, when I say I looked on Richard's face, this was my wish. Be thou, quoth I, accursed for making me so young, so old a widow. And when thou weddest, the sorrow must then be thy wife, if any be so bad, more miserable by the life of thee than thou hast made me by my dear lord's death. Oh, ere I can repeat this curse again within so small a time, my woman's heart grossly grew captive to his honeyed words and proved the subject of mine own soul's curse, which hitherto held my eyes from rest. Oh.
Poor-hearted dear, I pity thy complaining.
No more than with my soul I mourn for yours.
Farewell. Thou woeful, welcome our glory.
And you, poor soul that takest thy leave of it,
Go thou to Richmond,
And good fortune guide thee.
go thou to Richard, and good angels tend thee.
Go thou to sanctuary, and good thoughts possess thee. I to my grave, where peace and rest lie with me.
Stay, yet look back with me into the tower. Pity, you ancient stones, those tender maids whom envy hath immured within your walls. Rough cradle for such little pretty ones. Rude, ragged nurse, old sullen playfellow, use my babies well. So foolish sorrows bid your stones farewell.
Stand all apart. Cousin of Buckingham,
My gracious sovereign.
give me thy hand. Thus time, by thy advice, thy assistance, is King Richard seated. But shall we wear these glories for a day, or shall they last, and we rejoice in them?
Still live they, and forever let them last.
Buckingham. Now do I take the time to try and tell the current golden deed. Edward still lives. Think now what I would say.
Say on, my loving lord.
Why, Buckingham, I say I would be king.
Why, so you are, my thrice renowned lord.
Ha! Am I king? 'Tis so, but Edward still lives.
True, noble prince.
Oh, bitter consequence that Edward still should live. True, noble prince. Oh, cousin, thou wast not wont to be so dull. Shall I be plain? I wish the bastard dead, and I would have it suddenly performed. What say you? Speak suddenly, be brief.
Your grace may do your pleasure.
Tut, tut, thou art all ice, thy conscience freezes. Say, have I thy consent that they shall die?
Give me some little breath, some pause, dear lord, before I speak positively in this. I will resolve you herein presently.
The king is angry. See? He nods his lip.
I will converse I will converse with iron with his fools and unrespected boys. None are for me that look unto me with considerate eyes. The high-reaching Buckingham grows circumspect. The deep revolving witty Buckingham will no longer be neighbor to my counsels. Hath he held out so long now with me, untired, and stops he now for breath? Well, be it so. How now, Lord Stanley, what news?
No, my loving lord, the Marquis Dorset, as I hear, is fled to Richmond, in the parts where he abides.
Catesby, come hither. Rumor it abroad that Anne, my wife, is grievous sick. I will keep order for her keeping close. Look how thou dream'st, I say again. Give out that Anne, my queen, is sick and like to die. For it stands me much upon to stop all hopes whose growth may damage me. I must marry my brother's daughter, or else my kingdom stands on brittle glass. Kill her brothers and then marry her. An uncertain way to gain, but I am in so foreign blood that sin will pluck on sin. Tear falling pity dwells not in this eye. Is thy name Tyrrell?
James Tyrrell, and your most obedient subject.
Art thou indeed?
Prove me, my gracious lord.
Darest thou the resolve to kill a friend of mine?
Please you, but I'd rather kill two enemies.
Why then? Thou hast it, two deep enemies and foes to my rest. Two sweet sleep's disturbers are they that I would have thee deal upon. I mean those bastards in the tower, Tyrrell.
Let me have open means to come to them, and soon I'll rid you of the fear of them.
Thou sing sweet music. Come hither, Tyrrell. Go by this token. Lean and lend me thy name. There is no more but this. Say it is done, and I will love thee and prefer thee for it.
I will dispatch it straight.
My lord, I have sounded in my mind the late request that you did sound me in.
Well, let that rest. Dorset is fled to Greenville.
I hear the news, my lord.
Stanley, he is your wife's son. Well, look into it.
My lord, I claim the gift, my due by promise, for which your honor and your faith is pawned, the earldom of Hereford and the movables which you have promised I shall possess.
I do remember me Henry VI did prophesy that Richmond would be king when Richmond was a peevish little boy. A king,
my lord,
how that the prophet could not have that time have told me, I being by, that I should kill him.
My lord, your promise to the earldom.
Aye. What so clock?
Upon the stroke of 10.
Well, let it strike.
Why let it strike?
Because that, like a jack, thou keeps the stroke betwixt my begging and thy meditation. I am not in the giving vein today.
Why then resolve me whether you will or no.
Thou troublest me. I am not in the vein.
And is it thus? Repays he my deep service with such contempt? Made I him king for this? Oh, let me think on Hastings and be gone to Brecknock while my fearful head is on.
The tyrannous and bloody act is done. The most arch deed, hideous massacre this land was ever yet guilty of. And here he comes. All health, my sovereign lord.
Kind Tyrrell, am I happy in thy news?
If to have done the thing you gave in charge, beget your happiness and be happy, for it is done.
But did you see them dead, Tyrrell?
I did, my lord.
And buried, gentle Tyrrell?
The chaplain of the tower hath buried them, but where, to say the truth, I do not know.
Come to me after supper, Tyrrell, when thou shalt tell me the process of their death. Meantime, think how I may do thee good, and be the inheritor of thy desire. Farewell till thee.
I humbly take my leave.
The son of Clarence have I pent up close. His daughter meanly have I matched in marriage. Edward's sons sleep in Abraham's bosom, and my wife has bid this world good night. For now I know the President Richmond aims at young Elizabeth, my brother's daughter, and by that knot looks proudly on the crown. To her go I, a jolly thriving wooer.
My lord!
Good or bad news that thou comest in so bluntly?
Bad news, my lord. Elias fled to Richmond, and Buckingham, back with the hardy Welshman, is in the field, and still his power increaseth.
Ellie with Richmond troubles me more than than Buckingham with his rash living strength. Come, I've learned that fearful commenting is letting servitude, and don't delay. Go, muster men, my counsel is my shield. We must be free, when traitors brave the field.
Gentle souls fly in the air, and be not fixed and doomed perpetual.
lamentation hover about her. Say that right for right hath dimmed your infant born to aged night. So many miseries have crazed my voice, that my woe weary tongue is still and mute. Edward Plantagenet, why art thou dead? Plantagenet doth quit Plantagenet. Edward for Edward pays a dying debt.
Thou, O God, fly from such tender lambs, and leave them in the entrails of the wolf. When didst thou sleep when such a deed was done?
When holy Harry died, and my sweet son, dead life, blind, shut, poor, mortal, living ghost, woe seen, world's shame, graves due by life usurped, brief abstract, and record of tedious days, rest thy unrest on England's lawful earth, unlawfully made drunk with innocent blood!
Ah, that thou couldst as soon afford a grave, as thou to shield a melancholy sea. And would I hide my bones, not resting here? Ah, who hath any cause to mourn with me?
If ancient sorrow be most reverend, then give mine the benefit of seigneury, and let my woes frown on the other hand. If sorrow can admit society, tell over your woes again by viewing mine. I had an Edward till a Richard killed him. I had a husband till a Richard killed him. Thou hadst a Richard till a Richard killed him. Thou hadst an Edward till a Richard killed him. I had a Richard too, and thou didst kill him. I had a Rutland too, thou holdst to kill him. Thou hadst a Clarence too, and Richard killed him. From forth the kennel of thy womb hath crept a hellhound that doth hunt us all to death. That dog that had his teeth before his eyes to worry lambs without their gentle blood. That excellent grand tyrant of the earth that reigns in gallant eyes of weeping souls. That foul defacer of God's handiwork, thy womb that loosed to chase us to our graves. Oh, upright, just, and true, disposing God, how do I thank thee that this carnal cur preys on the issue of his mother's loins and makes her few fellow another's foe. Oh, Harry's white trite, not my woes. God witness with me, I have wept for thine. Bear with me, bear with me. I am hungry for revenge, and now I cloy me with beholding it. Richard yet lives, held black intelligencer, only reserve their factor to buy souls and send them thither. But at hand ensues his piteous and unpitied end. Earth gapes, hell burns, fiends roar, saints pray to have him suddenly conveyed from hence. Cancel his bond of life, dear God, I pray, that I may live and say the dog is dead.
Oh, thou didst prophesy the time would come when I should wish for thee to help me curse that bottled spider, that foul punch-packed toad.
I called thee then, vain flourish of my fortune. I called thee then, poor shadow, painted queen, a queen in jest only to fill the scene. Where is thy husband now? Where be thy brothers? Where are thy two sons? Wherein dost thou joy? Who sues and kneels and says, God save the queen? Where be the bending peers that flatter thee? Where be the thronging troops that follow thee? Decline all this, and see what now thou art. For happy wife, a most distressed widow. For joyful mother, one that wails the name. For one being sued to, one that humbly sues. For queen, a very caitiff, crowned with care. For she that scorned at me, now scorned of me. For she, commanding all, obeyed of none. For she, being feared of all, now fearing one. Thus hath the course of justice whirled about, and left thee but a very prey to time, having nothing but thought of what thou wast, to torture thee the more being what thou art. Thou didst usurp my griefs, and dost thou not usurp the just proportion of my sorrow? Now thy proud neck bears half my burdened yoke, from which even here I slip my weary head and leave the burden of it all on thee. Farewell. York's wife and queen of sadness chance. These English woes will make me smile in France. Stay a while and teach me how to curse mine enemies. Forbear to sleep the nights and fast the days. Compare dead happiness to living woe. Think that thy babes were sweeter than they were, and he that slew them fouler than he is. Bettering thy loss makes the mad cause her worse. Revolving this will teach thee how to curse. Thy words are dull, oh quicken them with thine. Thy woes will make them sharp and pierce like mine.
Who intercepts me in my expedition?
Oh, she that might have intercepted thee by strangling thee in her accursed womb from all the slaughters, wretch, that thou hast done. It's now that forehead, the golden crown, wherein should be branded in that riper right, the slaughter of the prince that owed that crown, the dire death of my poor sons and brothers. Tell me, thou villain slave, where are my children? Thou toad, where is thy brother Clarence, and little Ned Plantagenet his son? Where the gentle rivers? Where kind Hastings?
A flourish! Trumpets! Strike alarm drums! Let not the heavens hear these telltale women rail on the Lord's anointed! Either be kind or entreat me fair, or I with the clamorous reports of war will drown out your exclamations! Strike up the drum, I say!
Art thou my son?
I thank God, my father, and yourself.
Then patiently hear my impatience.
Madam, I have a touch of your condition which cannot brook the accent of reproof.
Oh, let me speak.
Do then, but I'll not hear.
I'll be mild and gentle in my words.
Quick, good mother, for I am in haste.
Art thou so hasty? I have stayed for thee, God knows, in torment and in agony.
And come not I at last to comfort thee?
No! By the holy rood, thou knowest it well. Thou camest on earth to make me earth my hell. A grievous burden was thy birth to me. Tetchy and wayward was thy infancy. Thy school days were frightful, desperate, wild, and furious. Thy pride of manhood, daring, bold, adventurous. Thy age confirmed. Proud, subtle, sly, and bloody. More, but yet more harmful, kind, hatred. What comfortable hour canst thou name that ever graced me with thy company?
If I be so disgracious in your eye, let me march on another fate, you madam. Strike off the drum, I say!
I prithee hear me speak.
You speak too bitterly.
Hear me a word, or I shall never speak to thee.
So,
either thou wilt die, by God's just ordinance, and from this war thou turn a conqueror, or I, with grief and extreme age, shall perish, and never more behold thy face again. Therefore take with thee my most grievous curse, which in the day of battle tire thee more than all the complete armor that thou wearest. My prayers on the adverse party fight, that the little souls of thy Lord's children whisper the spirits of thine enemies, and promise them success and victory. Thou art! Bloody will be thy end. Shame serves thy life and doth thy death attend. The farmer calls, yet much the spirit of curse abides in me. I say amen to her.
stay, madam. I must talk a word with you.
I have no more sons of the royal blood for thee to slaughter. As for my daughters, Richard, they shall be praying nuns, not weeping queens. Therefore level not to hit their lives.
You have a daughter named Elizabeth, virtuous and fair, royal and gracious.
And must she die for this? Oh, let her live, and I'll corrupt her manners, stain her beauty, slander myself as false to Edward's bed, throw over her the veil of infamy, so she may live unscarred and pleading slaughter. I will confess she was not Edward's daughter.
Wrong not her birth, she is a royal princess.
To save her life, I'll say she is not so.
Her life is safest only in her life.
And only in that safety died her brothers.
You speak as though if I had slain my cousins.
Cousins indeed, and by their uncle cousin, of comfort, kingdom, kindred, breedom, life, whose hands soever launched thy, their tender hearts thy head all indirectly gave direction. No doubt the murderous knife was dull and blunt,
till it was wedded on my stone hard heart to revel in the entrails of my lands.
Madam, so thrive I in my dangerous enterprise of bloody wars, as I intend more good to you and yours than ever you and yours were by me harmed.
Be brief, lest that the process of thy kindness telling last longer than thy kindness date.
Then know that from my soul I love thy daughter.
My daughter's mother thinks it with her soul.
And what do you think?
That from thy soul thou dost love my daughter. So from thy soul dost thou love her brothers, and from my heart's love I do thank thee for it.
Madam, mock me. This is not the way to win your daughter's heart.
Well then, who dost thou mean shall be her king?
Even he that makes her queen, who else should be?
What? Thou?
Even so, what think you of it?
How canst thou woo her?
That when I learn of you, being one best acquainted with her humor.
And wilt thou learn of me?
Madam, with all my heart.
Sing her by the man who slew her brothers, a pair of bleeding hearts. Thereon engrave Edward and York. Then haply shall she weep. If this inducement move her not to love, send her a letter of thy noble deeds. Tell her how thou madest away her uncle Clarence, her uncle Rivers, and for her sake madest quick conveyance with her good Aunt Anne.
Madam, you mock me! This is not the way to win your daughter's heart.
There is no other way, unless thou couldst put on some other shape and be not Richard that hath done all this.
Say that I did all this for the love of her.
Nay, then indeed she cannot choose but hate thee, having bought love with such a bloody spoil.
Madam, what is done cannot be now amended. Men shall deal unadvisedly sometimes, which after hours gives leisure to repent. If I take the kingdom from your sons to make amends, I'll give it to your daughter. If I kill the issue of your womb, to quicken your increase, I will beget mine issue of your blood upon your daughter. A grandam's name is little less in love than is the doting title of mother. And the most you have is for the son being king, which by that clause your daughter is made queen. I cannot make what amends I would, so therefore take such kindness as I can. Go then, my mother, to thy daughter, go, acquaint the princess with the sweet, silent hours of marriage joys. And when this arm of mine hath chastised the rebel, petty, dull-brained button, bound in triumphant garlands, will I return and lead thy daughter to a conqueror's bed.
What were I best to say? Her father's brother would be her lord. Or shall I say her uncle? Or he who slew her brothers and her uncle? Under what title shall I woo for thee that God, the law, my honor, and her love can make sing pleasing to her tender years?
Infer fair England's peace by this alliance,
Which she shall purchase with still lasting war.
say that she shall be a high and mighty queen.
To veil the title as her mother doth.
Say that I will love her everlastingly.
But how long shall that title ever last?
Sweetly and fairly until her fair life ends.
But how long fairly shall her sweet life last?
As long as heaven and nature lengthens.
As long as hell and Richard likes of
Your
it.
reasons are too shallow and too quick.
Oh no, my reasons are too deep and dead, poor infants in their graves.
Hark not on that string, madam, that is past.
Harp on it still shall I till heartstrings break.
Immaculate devotion, holy thoughts, will I tender to your beauteous princely daughter. In her consists my happiness and thine. And without her follows to myself and thee. Herself, the land, and many a Christian soul. Death, desolation, ruin, and decay. It cannot be avoided but by this. It will not be avoided but by this. So go then, my mother, as I must call you so. Go to thy daughter. Be the attorney of my love to her.
Shall I be tempted of the devil thus?
I, if the devil tempt you to do good.
Shall I forget myself to be myself?
I, if your self-remembrance wrong yourself.
Shall I go win my daughter to thy will?
And be a happy mother by the deed.
I go. Write to me shortly, and you shall understand from me her mind.
Bid her my true love's kiss, and so farewell. Relenting fool and shallow changing woman! How now, what news?
Most mighty sovereign, on the western coast, riding the prison navy, to our shores throng many doubtful, hollow-hearted friends, unarmed and unresolved to beat them back. 'Tis thought that Richmond is their admiral, and there they held, expecting with the aid of Buckingham to welcome them ashore.
Someone post to the Duke. Right, yourself. Or Catesby, where is she?
Here, my good lord.
Catesby, fly to the Duke.
I will, my lord. Most convenient haste.
Ratcliffe, come hither. Post to the Duke of Salisbury. When thou comest thither, adorn my pavilion. Why stayst thou here and not goest to the Duke?
First, mighty liege, tell me your highness's pleasure. What from your grace I shall deliver to him.
Oh, true, good Catesby. Bid him levy straight the greatest strength he can muster, and meet me suddenly at Salisbury.
I go.
What may it please you shall I do at Salisbury?
Why, what would you do there before I go?
Your highness told me I should post before.
My mind is changed. Oh, Stanley, what brings with you?
None good by you should please over the hearing, nor none so bad but well may be reported.
Hoy day! A riddle! Neither good nor bad. Why needst thou run so many miles about when thou may tell the nearest way? I say again, what news?
Richmond is on the sea.
Then let him sink and be the seas on him! White livered renegade, what doth he there?
I know not, mighty liege, but by guess.
Well, as you guess.
Stirred up by Dorset, Buckingham, and Ely, he makes for England here to claim the crown.
Is the chair empty? Is the sword unswayed? Is the king dead, the empire unpossessed? What yours there are there alive but me? And who is England's king but great yours there? I say again what makes thee upon the seas.
But for that, my liege, I cannot guess.
Unless for that he comes to be your liege, you cannot guess wherefore the Welshman comes? I'm afraid you will fly to him.
No, my good lord, therefore mistrust me not.
Then where is your power to beat him back then? Where be your tenants and your followers? Are they not now upon the western shore, safely conducting their revels from their ships?
No, my good lord, my friends are in the north.
Oh, cold friends to me. What do they in the north when they should be in those west serving their sovereign?
They have not been commanded, mighty king. Please, if your majesty to give me leave, I'll muster up my friends and meet your grace. Where and what time your majesty shall please.
You go and join with Richmond, but I'll not trust thee.
Lord, you have no cause to hold my friendship doubtful. I never was nor never will be false.
Go then, muster men, but leave behind your sons your stead. Make your heart be firm, or else his head's assurance is but friend.
So deal with him as I prove true to you.
My liege, that the Duke of Buckingham is taken, that is the best news. That the Earl of Richmond is with a mighty power landed at Milford, whose colder tidings yet they must be told.
To Salisbury, then, while we talk here, the royal battle might be won and lost. Someone give order that Buckingham be brought to Salisbury. The rest march on with me.
Good messenger, tell Richmond this from me, that in the sty of the most deadly war, my son, George Stanley is faithful and hold. If I revolt, up goes young George's head. Fear of that puts off my president. So get thee gone, commend me to thy lord. Withal, say that the queen hath heartily consented he should espouse Elizabeth, her daughter. But tell me, where is princely Richmond now?
At Pembroke, or at Harford, West in Wales.
Will hie me to my lord, I kiss his hand. This letter will resolve to him my mind. Farewell.
Will not King Richard let me speak to him? Why then All Souls' Day is my body's doomsday. This is the day which in King Edward's time I wish might fall on me when I was found false.
to his children and his wife's ally. This is the day which I wished to fall by the false faith of him whom most I trusted. This All Souls' Day, to my fearful soul, is the determined respite of my wrong. That high all-seer which I doubted with hath turned my fated prayer on my head and given in earnest what I begged in jest. Thus doth he force the swords of wicked men to turn their points on their own master's bosom. Thus doth Margaret's curse fall heavy on my neck, when he, quoth she, shall split thy heart with sorrow. Remember, Margaret was a prophetess. Come, lead me, officers, to the block of shame. Wrong hath but wrong, and blame the due of blame.
Fellows in arms and my most loving friends, bruising underneath the yoke of tyranny, thus far into the bowels of this land have we marched on without impediment. And here receive we from our father Stanley lines of their comfort and encouragement. The wretched, bloody, and usurping boy that spoiled your summer fields of fruitful vines swills your warm blood like wash and makes his trough in your embattled bosoms. This foul swine is now even in the center of this isle, near to the town of Leicester, as we learn. From Tamworth thither is but 1 day's march. In God's name, cheerly on, courageous friends, to reap the harvest of perpetual peace by this one bloody trial of sharp war.
Every man's conscience is 1,000 to fight against this guilty homicide.
I doubt not what his friends will turn to us.
He hath no friends, but what our friends for fear, which will in his dearest need fly from him, all for our advantage. Then in God's name march. True hope is swift and flies with swallow's wings. Kings it makes gods, and meaner creatures kings! Ah!
Here, pitch our tent, even here in Bosworthville, my lord of Norfolk.
Here, my precious liege.
Norfolk, we must have knots, ha! Must we not?
We must both give and take, my loving lord.
Up with the tent! Here will I lie tonight, but where tomorrow? Well, all's one for that. Who hath described the number of the traitors?
6,000 or 7,000 is their utmost power.
Why, our battalion trebles their account. Besides, the king's name is a tower of strength which they upon the adverse faction won. Up with my tent! Come, noble gentlemen, let us survey the advantage of the ground. Let us lack no discipline, make no delays. For Lord's tomorrow is a busy day!
Hath made a golden set, and by the bright track of his fiery bar gives token of a goodly day tomorrow. The Earl of Pembroke keeps his regiment. Good Captain Blunt, bear my good night to him. By the 2nd hour in the morning, desire the Earl to see me in my tent. Yet one thing more, good Captain, do for me. Where is Lord Stanley quartered, do you know? As I have misstated his colours much, which well I am assured I have not done. His regiment lies half a mile at least south. The mighty power of the king. If without peril it be possible, sweetheart, make some good means to speak with him, and give him from me this most needful note. Upon my life, my lord, I'll undertake it. And so God can give quiet rest now. Good night, good Captain Blunt. Into my tent, the dew is raw and cold.
What is 2 o'clock?
It's supper time, my lord. It's 9 o'clock.
I will not sup tonight. Give me some ink and paper. What is all my armor relating to my tent?
It is my liege, and all things are in readiness.
Norfolk, hie thee to thy charge. 2 trusty sentinels, use careful watch.
I go, my lord.
Stir with the lark tomorrow, Norfolk.
I warrant you, my lord.
Catesby,
My lord.
send out the first vaunted arms to Stanley's regiment. Bid him bring his power before sun rising, lest his son George fall into the blind cave of eternal night. Right,
My lord,
sawest thou the melancholy lord Northumberland?
Thomas the Earl of Surrey himself, much about cockshut time from troop to troop, went through the army cheering up the soldiers.
So I am satisfied. Give me a bowl of wine. I have not the battle equity of spirit nor cheer of mind that I was wont to have. Bid my guard watch. Leave me. Radcliffe, about the mid of night, come to my tent and help to arm me. Leave me, I say.
Fortune and victory sit on thy head.
All comfort that the dark night can afford be to thy person, noble father-in-law. Tell me, how fares our loving mother?
I by eternity bless thee from my mother, who prays continually for Richmond's good. So much for that. The silent hours steal on, and flaky darkness breaks within the east. In brief, for so the season bids us be, prepare thy battle early in the morning, and put thy fortune to the arbitrament of bloody strokes and mortal staring war. I, as I may, that which I would I cannot, with best advantage will deceive the time, and aid thee in the stout shock of arms. But on thy side I may not be too forward, lest, being seen, thy brother, tender George, be executed in his father's sight. Farewell. The leisure and the fearful time puts off the ceremonious vows of love, and ample interchange of sweet discourse with so long sundered friends should dwell upon. God, give us leisure for these rites of love. Once more, adieu. Be valiant and speak well.
Good lords, conduct him to his regiment. I'll strive with troubled thoughts to take a nap, lest leaden slumber pays me down until tomorrow when I should mount with wings of victory. Once more, good night, kind lords and gentlemen. O thou whose captain I count myself, watch on my forces with a gracious eye. Put in their hands thy bruising irons of wrath, that they may crush down with a heavy fall the usurping helmets of our adversaries. Make us thy ministers of chastisement, that we may praise thee in victory. To thee I commend my watchful soul, ere I let fall the windows of mine eyes. Sleeping and waking, O defend me still.
Let me sit heavy on thy soul tomorrow. Think how thou stabbedst me in my prime of youth at Tewkesbury. Despair, therefore, and die. Be cheerful, Richmond, for the wronged souls of butchered princes fight in thy behalf. King Henry's issue, Richmond, comforts thee.
When I was mortal, my anointed body by thee was punctured full of deadly holes. Think on the tower and me. Despair and die. Henry the Sixth bids thee despair and die. Virtuous and holy, be thou conqueror. Harry, that prophesied thou shouldst be king, doth comfort thee in thy sleep. Live and flourish.
Let me sit heavy in thy soul tomorrow. I that was washed to death with fulsome wine. Poor Clarence, by thy guile betrayed to death. Tomorrow in the battle, think on me, and fall thy edgeless sword, despair and die. Thou offspring of the house of Lancaster, the wronged heirs of York do pray for thee. Good angels guard thy battle. Live and flourish.
Let me sit heavy in thy soul tomorrow.
rivers that died in Pomfret, despair and die.
Awake, and think our wrongs in Richard's bosom will conquer him. Awake, and win the day!
Dream on thy cousin smothered in the tower. Let us be led within thy bosom, Richard.
And weigh thee down to ruin, shame, and death. Thy nephew's souls bid thee despair and die.
Sleep, Richmond. Sleep in peace and wake in joy.
Good angels guard thee from the boar's annoy. Live and beget a happy race of kings.
Edward's unhappy sons do bid thee flourish.
Bloody and guilty, guiltily awake, and in a bloody battle end thy days. Think on Lord Hastings, despair and die. Quiet, untroubled soul, awake, awake, on, fight and conquer for fair England's sake.
Richard, thy wife, that wretched Anne thy wife, that never slept a quiet hour with thee, now fills thy sleep with perturbations. Tomorrow, in the battle, think on me, and fall thy edgeless sword, despair, and die. Thy quiet soul, sleep thou a quiet sleep. Dream of success and happy victory. Thy adversary's wife doth pray for thee.
First was I to help thee to the crown, the last was I to feel thy tyranny. Oh, in the battle think on Buckingham, and die in terror of thy guiltiness. Dream on of bloody deeds and death. Fainting despair, despairing yield thy breath. I died for hope ere I could lend thee aid, but cheer thy heart, and be thou not dismayed. God and good angels fight on Richmond's side, and Richard fall in height of all his pride.
Give me another horse! Mind on my wounds, and mercy, Jesu! Oh, I did but dream. Oh, coward conscience, how dost thou afflict me? The lights burn blue. It is now dead midnight. Cold, fearful drops stand on my trembling flesh. What should I fear? There's none else by. Richard loves Richard, that is I am I. Is there a murderer here? No. Yes, I am. Then fly! What? From myself? Great reason why. Lest I revenge myself upon myself. No. I'd rather love myself for any good that I myself have done unto myself. Alack! No! I'd rather hate myself for hateful deed committed by myself. I am a villain, yet I lie. I am not. Fool, of thyself speak well. Fool, do not flatter. My conscience hath 1,000 several tongues, and every tongue brings in a several tale, and every tale condemns me for a villain. Methought the souls of all that I had burned came to my tent, and did threat tomorrow's vengeance on the head of Richard.
My lord!
Sounds, who is that?
Ratcliffe, my lord, 'tis I. The early village cock hath twice done salutations to morning. Your friends are up and buckle on their armor.
Oh, Ratcliffe, I have dreamed a fearful dream. What think you, will our friends prove all true?
No doubt, my lord.
Oh, Ratcliffe, I fear. I fear.
Nay, my good lord. Be not afraid of shadows.
By St. Paul, shadows tonight have struck more terror to the soul of Richard than can the substance of 10,000 soldiers armed in proof and led by shallow Richmond.
that ever entered in a drowsy head have I since your departure had, my lords. Methought their souls whose bodies Richard murdered came to my tent and cried on victory. I promise you my soul is very jocund in the remembrance of so fair a dream. More than I have said, loving countrymen, the leisure and enforcement of the time forbids to dwell upon, yet remember this. God in our good cause fight on our side. Aye. The prayers of holy saints and wronged souls, like high-reared bulwarks, stand before our faces. Aye. Richard, accept those whom we fight against had rather have us win than him they follow. Aye. For what is he they follow? Truly, gentlemen, a bloody tyrant and a homicide. One raised in blood and one in blood established. Aye. One that made means to come by what he hath and murdered those that were the means to help him. A base foul stone made precious by the foil of England's care, where he is falsely set. One that hath ever been God's enemy. Then if you fight against God's enemy, God will in justice ward you as his soldiers. If you do sweat to put a tyrant down, you sleep in peace, the tyrant being slain. If you fight against your country's foes, your country's fat shall pay your pains the higher. If you fight in safeguard of your wives shall welcome home the conquerors. If you free your children from the sword, your children's children quits it in your age. Then in the name of God and all these rights, advance your standards, draw your willing swords. For me, the ransom of my bold attempt shall be this cold corpse on the earth's cold face. But if I should drive the gain of my attempt, the least of you shall share his life thereof. So drums and trumpets, boldly and carefully, God and St. George, Richmond, and victory!
The sun will not be seen today, the sky will frown and lower upon our army. I would these dewy tears were from the ground. What? Not shine today? Well, what is that to me more than to Richmond? For the self-same heaven that frowns on me looks sadly upon him.
Arms! My lord, the foe wants the field!
Come, bustle, bustle, comparison, my horse. Call up Lord Stanley, bid him bring his power. I will lead my army into the plain, and thus my battle shall be ordered. My forward shall be drawn out, all in length, consisting equally of horse and foot. Our archers shall be placed in the midst. Go, gentlemen, every man unto his charge. Let not our babbling dreams affright our souls. Conscience is but a word that cowards use. Devised at first to keep the strong at all. Let swords be our conscience, and swords be our law. March on, join bravely, let us do it pell-mell. If not to heaven, then hand in hand to hell. Go, gentlemen, and you can fight bold, yeomen. Draw archers, draw your arrows to the head. Fight bold, spur your proud horses, ride in blood. Let amaze the welkin with your broken staves. What says Lord Stanley? Will he bring his power?
My lord, he doth deny to come.
Off with his son, George's head!
My lord, the enemy has passed the marsh after the battle. Let George Stanley die.
1,000 hearts are great within my bosom. Advance our standards, set upon our foes. Our ancient word of courage, fair St. George. Inspire us with the spleen of fiery dragons. Upon them, victory set on our hands.
call. Wear it, enjoy it, and make much of it.
Great God of heaven, say amen to all! Tell me, is young George Stanley living?
He is, my lord, and safe in Leicester town. Whither, if it please you, we may now withdraw us.
What men of name are slain on either side?
John, Duke of Norfolk, Walter, Lord Ferrers, Sir Robert Brackenbury, and Sir William Brandon.
Inter their bodies as becomes their births. Proclaim a pardon to the soldiers fled, that in submission will return to us. And then, as we obtain the sacrament, we will unite the white rose and the red. Smile heaven upon this fair conjunction that long have frowned upon their enmity. Oh, now that Richmond and Elizabeth, the true succeeders of each royal house, by God's fair ordinance, can join together. Now civil wounds are stopped. Peace lives again, that she may long live here. God say, Amen.
Amen.